Alright everybody, I'm Clint with Kennon Heating Air, and today I would talk about a blog that Eric actually wrote. It's a really good blog and I think it's really helpful. So we're going to go through it and talk about, basically we're just going to talk about ways to save energy on your heating and cooling bills, or I'm sorry, your cooling bills. Because you know, we're getting in the heat of the summer and that big bill's coming around. So let's talk about a few ways to kind of mitigate your energy consumption. One of the first things that we always tell customers is check your filter, change your filter, because if your system can't breathe, it can't cool very well, and it's going to work harder to do it. The hard part about that is it's out of sight, out of mind. So I tell people, I tell all my customers, I say, hey, look, when you get that high electric bill, think about your air conditioner, think about the filter in it. Go up there and change your filter when you get a high electric bill. And that way you'll remember, hey, my filter is dirty. Help out my air conditioning system. So that's the number one thing, and that's always something that you want to check. You know, you don't have to necessarily do it monthly. Generally, we do maintenances. We do it about every 6 months, which is usually sufficient. It depends on the type of house you have, how loose or tight it is, how much dust you get in there, and things like that. If you have pets and things like that, obviously it's going to be more. So get in the habit of at least just checking the filter, seeing what's going on with it. It's making sure it's clean. Keep a box of them at your house if you need to. You can order them online. Box of 12. Just pop one out, pop one in. The second thing is maintaining consistent thermostat temperatures. This is kind of a touchy subject for some people. Some people like to run their air conditioners really low. Georgia Power, most of the energy companies around here, they recommend 78 degrees. Some people might think that's outrageous, it's too hot. But on that, let me go over just a little point on that. If you notice that you have to turn your air conditioner down past, say, 73, maybe past 72, or set it on even 70 degrees, that could be an indication of high humidity. High humidity is going to make you feel more, it's going to make the atmosphere feel kind of stuffy. So you're going to have to turn your thermostat down even further than actually you probably should be. So if you find yourself where you're turning your thermostat really low, you know, past 72 or even really 73, then you may want to have your humidity checked in your house and have something to address the humidity issue. But anyway, that being said, generally you want to keep your thermostat about 78 degrees, 75, 78. A lot of people have smart thermostats that sense maybe when you're there, or they go by time, and they turn your air conditioner down a little bit when you're not there, and then to reset it when you're there. But you want to be careful with that as well, because you don't want to go too crazy with it. You definitely don't want to turn your thermostat off while you're not there. Turning it up a little bit's fine. And so let's just go through this scenario. If you like it at 75 degrees while you're at home, generally you want to stay within about 3 degrees. So when you leave your house, have it go to 78, and then when you come back home, go to 75. Because if you turn it up too high or turn it off, you build up a lot of humidity in your house, and it's harder for your air conditioner to pull latent heat out of the air, which is humidity, than it is to change the sensible temperature on there. So try and keep it within about 3 degrees. Any setback features that you have in your thermostat, you know, keep it in that range. That way it's not running, you know, a super long time when you get home to catch back up. If you've done both of those things and you still notice high electric bills, one thing you can do is, you know, if you have a system that's 10, 15 years old, you know, it's probably a 10 SEER unit, which means that it's really kind of inefficient for now, you know, today's standards. Government standard nowadays is 14 SEER, so you could always replace your unit with a more efficient unit. You know, units go anywhere from 14 to 20 SEER, and even higher in some instances. So a good way to save energy is obviously to buy more efficient air conditioning. When you're looking at SEER rating, I always explain SEER rating is, you can compare it to gas mileage. The higher the SEER rating, the more efficient it is. That's all it boils down to. So, you know, if you have an 18 SEER unit, it's definitely going to be more conservative than a 10 SEER unit that you may have now. Probably one of the best things you can do for your air conditioner too is also do the annual maintenance. Even if you have a brand new air conditioner, you want to do your maintenance on it. One of the first things that people think about when they buy a car is, well, I need to make sure I can change my oil so I keep my warranty and keep my car running the best it can run. You also want to do that with your air conditioner, no matter what the age is on it. Do the maintenance on your air conditioner. We'll come out, we'll clean the coils, we'll change the filter, clean the drain lines, go through it, make sure everything's working properly, make sure it's to the manufacturer's specs. That way it can run as efficiently as it can and also help you prevent breakdowns. So call us out anytime. We'll come out, do a maintenance on it, go through the whole system, make sure it's clean, make sure it's ready for summer or wintertime, whatever it may be. The last thing I want to talk about was also insulation in your house. A lot of people think about it, especially in Georgia. I think most people think about insulation in the wintertime, keeping the heat in, but you also have to consider that insulation keeps the heat out. So if insulation settles over time, there's a certain R value that they require in Georgia. When they build your house, they go in there, they blow it in. Over time, it settles, gets shorter and shrinks. So every now and then, you need to have it kind of what they call blowover, where you go in, you add a little bit more insulation. Doesn't happen all that often, but if your house is maybe 10 or 15 years old, you probably want to have somebody come out and measure insulation and see if you have the proper insulation. That can definitely make a big difference in your heating or cooling bills, is if you have enough insulation in your house to keep the heat in or keep it out, whichever you may be trying to do at a particular time of the year. We give free estimates on installation, and we also offer financing on it. So it's another good way to save money on air conditioning. So you can give us a call, 678-778-1328. If you want more information on this, you can go to our blog, our website, take a look at it. All of it's in there at KennonHVAC.com. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below the video and we'll get back to you. Thanks.